Going to be participating in the distance freestyle sessions this afternoon, which will begin at 2:57 with our top two seeded heats being part of our final session this evening. But if you're part of the earlier distance swims in the mid-afternoon, you need to supply your own timer and your own lap counter, so please be aware of that. All right, this morning we're going to see competition in the 100 free, 200 backstroke, 50 butterfly, and as I said, we'll have a distance freestyle. Those earlier heats will begin at 2:57 this afternoon, and swimmers competing in the earlier distance events need to supply their own timer and lap counter. Just about ready to get it started here this morning. Women's 100 freestyle, 19 preliminary heats to get us going. All right, ready to get going here. Again, 19 preliminary heats in the women's 100 freestyle, heat one. Lane 3, Montiel for Academy Bullets. Lane 4, Welch for Dad's Club. Lane 5, Sonia for Rockville Montgomery. Heat one coming into the wall. First to touch, Fiona Sanjaya from Rockville Montgomery, 100.38, heat two. Heat 2, Gerardo for Team Greenville. Lane 2, Gordon, Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 3 for Knox, Mecklenburg. Lane 4, Saheda for Team Pittsburgh. 5 for is Graham for Academy Bullets. 6, Robertson for Dad's Club. 7 for Long Island Aquatics is McKee. And lane 8, Bayer for Stingray Swim Team. NCSA record of the women's 100 freestyle, 54.73. Camille Spink, Nation's Capital 2022. Over in lane 1, Chelsea Gerardo, Team Greenville. Her time, 1:02.47, Heat 3. Heat 3, Strutter for Stingrays. 2, Wagner for Nova of Virginia. 3, Durbin for H2Oki Aquatics. Lane 4, McCart for Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 5, Heinz for Irish Aquatics. Lane 6, Ambrosino for Chicago Wolfpack. 7, Lindstrom for Academy Bullets. And lane 8, Peterson for Dad's Club. Heat 3 coming down to the finish, landing first. Audrey Lindstrom, Academy Bullets, 101.45. Heat 4. Heat 4, lane 1, Arroyo for Chicago Wolfpack. 2, Lee for Fisher's Area Swimming Tigers. 3, Default from Nation's Capital. Lane 4, Scott for Core Swimming. Lane 5, Massimino for Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 6, Golden for Hershey Aquatic. Lane 7, Ramey for Fisher's Area Swimming Tigers. And lane 8, Hayon for Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 4, Lily Ruth Scott, Core Swimming. In lane 4, 100.63, Heat 5. Lane 5, Schumacher for Academy Bullets. Lane 3, Dealey for Excel Aquatics. Lane 3, Hare for Fast Tigers. Lane 4, Miller for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 5, Scully for Huntsville Swim Association. Lane 6, Baroka for Zionsville. Lane 7, Billet for Academy Bullets. And lane 8, Karowski for Izwaki Aquatic. Heat 5 on the wall, touching first out of lane 4, Catherine Miller, Team Pittsburgh, 100.47. Heat 6. Heat 6 underway. Lane 1, Alberts for Edina Swimming. Lane 2, Neville for CSP Tide Riders. Lane 3 is Ilaria Russell from Suburban Seahawks. Lane 4, Porter for Tide Riders. Lane 5, Mentel for Academy Bullets. Lane 6, Fedorenko for Chelsea Piers Aquatic. Lane 7, Kowal for Academy Bullets. And lane 8, Linton for Nations Capital. Quinn Porter for Tide Riders in lane 4. Her time, 59.55, quick so far, heading into Heat 7. Heat 7, lane 1. Mikulinic for Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 2, Peyton for Lakeside. Lane 3, Miglietta for Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 4, Kent for Nations Capital. Lane 5, Klein for Mecklenburg. 6, Katz for Edina Swim Club. Lane 7, Leginski for Ole Swimming. And lane 8, Tomlinson for Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. Elizabeth Kent, Nations Capital out front, lane 4, but here comes Cameron Klein of Mecklenburg on the wall first in Heat 7 is Elizabeth Kent, Nations Capital, 100.57, Heat 8. Heat 8, lane 1, Gutierrez for North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 2, Nevins for Mecklenburg Swimming. Lane 3, Sanchez for Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 4, Fleming for Nations Capital. Lane 5, Brzezinski for Waukesha Express. Lane 6, Furchess for Arlington Aquatic. Lane 7, Antonuski for Waukesha Express. And lane 8, Birch for Zionsville Swim Club. Heat 8 coming into the wall. We had a tie between lane 5's Rachel Brzezinski of Waukesha Express, lane 7 Avery Antonuski also of Waukesha, and a 59.21 Heat 9. Heat 9, lane 1, Kai for Rockville Montgomery, 2, Roberson for Ole Swimming, lane 3, Workington for Sandpipers of Nevada, lane 4, Zauder also for Sandpipers, lane 5, Klingon-Smith for Team Pittsburgh, 6, Jai for Nations Capital, lane 7, Green for Lakeside, and lane 8, Sender for Club North Swimming. Sienna Zotter, Sandpipers of Nevada in lane 4. Coming into the wall in heat 9 in a time of 59.50. Heat 10. Heat 10, lane 1, Siegel from Team Pittsburgh. Lane 2, Bill Geiser from Irish Aquatics. Lane 3, Rice for Tide Riders. Lane 4, Morgan for Nations Capital. Lane 5, Welch for Tide Riders. Lane 6, Snyder for Team Greenville. Lane 7, Whittaking for Kentucky Aquatics. And lane 8, Naraki for Academy Bullets. First on the wall, out of lane 1, Thea Siegel, Team Pittsburgh, 55.77, heat 11. Heat 11, lane 1, with Roth from Nations Capital. 2, Rossi Witte from Waukesha. Lane 3, Martin from Dad's Club. Lane 4, Proper for Nations Capital. Lane 5, Manick for Academy Bullets. 6, Parsons for Chelsea Piers. Lane 7, Scully for Huntsville Swim Association. And lane 8, Blom for Parkway Rockwood. First to touch in lane 2, Rowan Rossi Witte from Waukesha, 59.12, heat 12. Heat 12, lane 1, Quinn for Meswaki Aquatics. Lane 2, Lang for Stingrays. Lane 3, Cooksey for Lakeside Swim Team. Lane 4, Dunfield for Ole Swimming. Lane 5, Mason for Rockville Montgomery. Lane 6, Nicola for Academy Bullets. 7, Chessie for St. Andrews Aquatics. And in lane 8, Meyer for Waukesha Express. Over in lane 1, Nola Quinn is Waukee Aquatic. Here in heat 12, and Quinn on the wall in a 58.70, heat 13. Heat 13, lane 1, Cortez Martinez from Nations Capital. Lane 2, Edinburgh from Nations Capital. Lane 3, Brenner from Nations Capital. Lane 4, Jewel for Waukesha Express. Lane 4, Demesis for Dad's Club. Lane 6, Schischler from Suburban Seahawks. 7, Renaud for Tide Riders. And lane 8, Brockman for Chicago Wolfpack. First on the wall out of heat 13, lane 5. Emily Demisius from Dad's Club, 59.21, heat 14. Heat 14, lane 1, Whitney for Suburban Seahawks. Lane 2, Howard for Mecklenburg. Lane 3, Connor for Long Island Aquatics. Lane 4, Patterson for Nova of Virginia. Lane 5, Spruill for North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 6, Dye for Long Island Aquatic. Lane 7, Esparza for Academy Bullets. And Lane 8, Busson for Nation's Capital. Evelyn Spruill, North Carolina, here in lane 5. Her time, 58.37, heat 15. Heat 15, lane 1, Sims for Fast Tigers. Lane 2, Komorowski for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 3, Brown for Team Greenville. Lane 4, Cushman for Nation's Capital. Lane 5, Hertzik for Mecklenburg. Lane 6, Falk for Tide Riders. 7 is Cruz for Academy Bullets. And lane 8, Ahern for Rockville Montgomery. Ava Graziani of Lakeside, 57.26. Heat 16. Heat 16, lane 1, Hunter for Zionsville. Lane 2, Smith for Dad's Club. Lane 3, Rogie for New Trier Aquatics. Lane 4, Leo for Suburban Seahawks. Lane 5, Kilty for Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Graziani for Lakeside. Lane 7, Petty is Early for Petty Aquatics. And lane 8, Schneider for Team Greenville. Out of lane 1, Haley Hunter, Zionsville Swim Club, 58.07, heat 17. Heat 17, the first of our circle-seated heats in the women's 100 freestyle. Lane 1, Venna for Sandpipers of Nevada. Lane 2, Chan for Huntsville Swim Association. Lane 3, Williams for Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 4, Waldbesser for Suburban Seahawks. Lane 5, Fetters for Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 6, Barty for Mecklenburg. Lane 7, Dave for Rockville. And lane 8, Deladuca for New Trier Aquatics. Quick time so far out of Heat 10. Thea Stiegel, Team Pittsburgh, 55.77. And here in Heat 17, the first on the wall, Abby Chan of Huntsville Swim Association, 57.19. Heat 18 now. Heat 18, lane 1, Lietzow for New Trier. Lane 2, McKay for Ole Swimming. Lane 3, Schlegel for Waukesha Express. Lane 4, Gunther for Aquatic Team of Mecklenburg. Lane 5, Kowal for Academy Bullets. Lane 6, Boland for Mecklenburg Swim Club. Lane 7, Drummond for Aquatic Team of Mecklenburg. And lane 8, Shiflett for Nation's Capital. Heat 18 into the wall, and first to touch out of lane 5, Paige Kowal, Academy Bullets, 57.53, Heat 19. Heat 19, this is our final preliminary heat of the women's 100 freestyle. Lane 1, Keitel for Germantown Academy. Lane 2, Brooks for Kentucky Aquatics. Lane 3, Bluthman for Ole Swimming. Lane 4, Antnewski for Waukesha Express. Lane 5, Nealon for Dad's Club. Lane 6, Dijon for Dad's Club. Lane 7, Glassley for Fort Wayne Swim Team. And lane 8, Brennan for Petty Aquatic. At the 50, Ella Antnewski, Waukesha Express out front, 27.25, ahead of Megan Bluthman of Ole. Good race coming into the wall here. And first to touch out of lane 3, Megan Bluthman, Ole Swimming, in a time of 57.03. Now into 23 preliminary heats in the men's 100 free, Heat 1. Heat 1, lane 3, Sanchaya for Rockville Montgomery. Lane 4, Lujan for Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. And lane 5, Wright for Zionsville. Brady Wright, Zionsville Swim Club. His time, 56.48, Heat 2. Heat 2, lane 1, Wilson for Brownsburg. Lane 2, Kitamoto for Academy Bullets. Lane 3, Ball of Iswaki Aquatics. Lane 4, Filzer for Long Island Aquatic. Lane 6, Aimi for Rockville Montgomery. Lane 7, Tonpe for Nova of Virginia. Yuma Kitamoto, Academy Bullets in lane 2. Big lead in heat 2, his time 54.36. Heat 3. Heat 3, lane 1, Robertson for Dad's Club. Lane 2, Sears for New Trier. Lane 3, Capon for Academy Bullets. Lane 4, Geoffrey for Mecklenburg. Lane 5, Pape for Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Brown for Tide Riders. Lane 7, Eggins for Team Pittsburgh. And lane 8, Peters for Edina Swim Club. Heat 3 comes into the wall. Caleb Joffrey, Mecklenburg Swim Club, 53.71. Heat 4. Here are the results of preliminary swims. The women's 100 free, second alternate in D is Mason. First alternate Jewel. In the D final, Brzezinski, Antonuski, Dye, Shiflett, Rogie, Bussin, Dunfield, and Welch. The C final, Herzig, Connor, Wedeking, Quinn, Keitel, Barty, Patterson, and Day. The C final, DeLuta, Komorowski, Cruz, Brown, Sproul, Letzow, Graziani, and DeJong. I'll be back with the rest of your preliminary results in the women's 100 freestyle once we get the next heat in the water. And first to touch lane 7, Jogan Baca, Dad's Club, 55.40, heat 5. Results of preliminary swims continuing on now. The women's 100 freestyle. In the B final, Liu, Brennan, Brooks, Hunter, Gunther, Bolin, Fetters, and McKay. And in the A final heat of the women's 100 free, Williams, Kowal, Waldbusser, Glassley, Falk, Antonuski, Chan in the top seed from Ole, Megan Bluthman at a time of 57.03. Time now is 9:03 and a 30-minute scratch roll in effect for event number 3. We need to see a coach from Fort Wayne swim team and a coach from Ole at the lower admin table. Need to see a coach from Fort Wayne swim team and Ole at the lower admin table, please. Also, we need a coach from Rockville, Montgomery at the lower admin table. Wyatt Norrick here, lane 6 from Indiana Swim Club, 54.45. Into heat 6 we go. Heat 6, lane 1, Rolnick for NASA Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 2, Citron for Long Island Aquatic. Lane 3, Sue for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 4, Livesey for Sharks. Lane 5, Cash for New Trier. Lane 6, Gormison from Rockville, Montgomery. In lane 8, Tavornik from Rockville, Montgomery. That's swimmer in lane 8, Tavornik, Jack Tavornik in lane 8. Sam Casnew-Trier in lane 5, 53.87. Heat 7. Heat 7, lane 1 is Landwehr from Nation's Capital. Lane 2, Miller for Izwaki Aquatics. Lane 3, Azizariza from Dad's Club. Lane 4, Boecki from Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 5, Cockler from Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Vakovic from Team Pittsburgh. Lane 7, Lee from Carolina Aquatic. Ashton Boecki, Chicago Wolfpack in lane 4, leads heat 7 into the wall, and Boecki's time 53.86, heat 8. Heat 8, lane 1 is By for Mecklenburg. Lane 2, Johnson for Boilermaker Aquatic. Lane 3, Peterson, Academy Bullets. Lane 5, Cutbush Taylor from North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 6, Kelly for Wilmington Aquatic. Lane 7, Metz for Academy Bullets. Lane 8, Theodos for Tide Riders. Meet record of the men's 100 free, 49.75. Alexander Teesing, Lakeside Swim Team, 2025. Zach Peterson, Academy Bullets here in lane 3. This time 53.26, heat 9. We need a coach from Machine Aquatics to the main admin table. We need a coach from Machine Aquatics to the main admin table, please. Heat 9 underway. Lane 1, Scott for Nation's Capital. Lane 2, Savitsky for New Trier. Lane 3, Kidder for Kentucky Aquatics. Lane 4, Pritz for Boilermaker. Lane 5, Coyne for Nova of Virginia. Lane 6, Chow for Aquatic Team of Mecklenburg. Lane 7, Dickon from Kentucky Aquatics. And Lane 8, Cooper for Huntsville Swimming. Austin Pritz, Boilermaker Aquatic, 53.22. Fast so far into heat 10. Heat 10, lane 1, Lombardo's for Rockville, Montgomery. Lane 2, Woodward for NASA Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 3, White for Nation's Capital. Lane 4, York for Team Greenville. Lane 5, Tyndall for Huntsville Swim Association. Lane 5, Valera for Academy Bullets. Lane 6, Moldovan from Chicago Wolfpack. And lane 8, Nagel for Edina Swim Club. First to touch out of heat 10, lane 8. Caden Nagel, Edina Swim Club, 53.39, and now heat 11. Heat 11, lane 1, Thomas for Sharks Swim Club. Lane 2, Wardlaw for Tsunami Swimming. Lane 3, Young for Huntsville Swim Association. Lane 4, Farnsworth for Nova of Virginia. Lane 5, Wood for Nation's Capital. 6, Westerman for Team Pittsburgh. 7, Durham for Lakeside Swim Team. And lane 8, Schultz for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Heat 11 into the wall, and first to touch lane 7, Owen Durham Lakeside Swim Team, 53.12, heat 12. Heat 12, lane 1, Kelly for Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 2, Chow for Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 3, Hemberger for Edina Swim Club. Lane 4, Gabler for Edina. Lane 5, Dealey for Excel Aquatics. Lane 6, Ball for Azwaki Aquatics. Lane 7, Wellman for North Carolina Aquatic Club. And lane 8, Kohlhofer for H2Oki Aquatics. KL Chow, Chicago Wolfpack. Out front, lane 2. But on the wall first, at the end there, lane 7, Jack Wellman, North Carolina Aquatic, 53.77. Heat 13. Heat 13, lane 1. Fisher for Rockville Montgomery. 2, Cooper for Old North State Aquatics. Lane 3, Franks for Nova of Virginia. Lane 4, Stoller for Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 5, McCann for Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Hirth for Lakeside Swim Team. Lane 7, Beckley also for Lakeside. And lane 8 for Lubin, Boilermaker. Lane 7, Hayden Beckley, Lakeside, 53.59, heat 14. Heat 14, lane 1, Cabot for Nation's Capital. Lane 2, Larkin for Waukesha Express. Lane 3, Montgomery for Parkway Rockwood. Lane 4, Blandford for Lakeside. Lane 5, Friedel for Course Swimming. Lane 6, Walk for North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 7, Grimley for Suburban Seahawks. And lane 8, Phillips for Kentucky Aquatics. Jack Grimley, Suburban Seahawks in lane 7. Grimley to touch first, 52.28. Quick so far, heading into heat 15. Heat 15, lane 1, Arcaresi, Nova, Virginia. 2, Crook for Mountain Valley Aquatics. Lane 3, Kitching for Sharks Swim Club. Lane 4, Harrison for Lakeside. Lane 5, Wergley for Nations Capital. Lane 6, Waynard for Nova, Virginia. Lane 7, Finley for Parkway Rockwood. And in lane 8, Keaton for Carolina Aquatic. Traden Finley, Parkway Rockwood, lane 7, 52.63. Heat 16. Heat 16, lane 1, Jankowski for Lakeside. Lane 2, Coe for New Trier. Lane 3, Purcell for Parkway Rockwood. Lane 4, Stutter for Peters Township Swim Club. Lane 5, Vickers for Dad's Club. Lane 7, Slater for Zionsville. 7, Kratz for Nations Capital. And lane 8, Moran for Tide Riders. Michael Purcell, Parkway Rockwood, in lane 3, 52.44. Heat 17. Heat 17, lane 1, Andrews for Team Greenville. 2, Euchre for Stingrays. Lane 3, Kangami for Arlington Aquatic. Lane 5, Zhao for Nations Capital. Lane 6, Akio for Long Island Express. Lane 7, Boyd for Lakeside Swim Team. And lane 8, Hess for Suburban Seahawks. Bryson Andrews in lane 1 for Team Greenville, 52.76, Heat 18. Heat 18, lane 1, Sears for New Trier. 2, Clark for North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 3, Leo for Eagle Swim Team. Lane 4, Hanson for Nations Capital. Lane 5, Phillips for Nations Capital. Lane 6, Klein for Warwick, Indiana Tidal Wave. Lane 6, Coslin for Excel Aquatics. Lane 8, Cruz for Academy Bullets. Tyler Phillips, Nations Capital in lane 5. Time of 52.15, quick so far. Heading into Heat 19. Heat 19, lane 1, Fisher for Nova, Virginia. 2, Bridges for Team Greenville. 3, McMinn for Lakeside. Lane 4, Halpern for North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 5, Jackson for Eagle Swim Team. Lane 6, Zhao for Dad's Club. Lane 7, Wang for Nations Capital. And lane 8, Zhao for Nations Capital. Into the wall they come. Bridges in 2, McMinn in 3. It is Will Bridges, Team Greenfield, touching first, 52.40, heat 20. Heat 20, lane 1, Orlandini for St. Andrews Aquatic. Lane 2, Shahowski for Machine Aquatic. Lane 3, Dircha for New Trier. Lane 4, O'Connor for Iswaki Aquatics. Lane 5, Wayner for Waukesha Express. Lane 6, Constanetta for Dad's Club. Lane 7, Shen for Dad's Club. And lane 8 for Rockville Montgomery, Mula. Out of lane 1, Matthias Anlandini, St. Andrews, 51.86, heat 21. Heat 21, the first of our circle-seated heats in the preliminaries of men's 100 freestyle. Lane 1, Bagoff for Dad's Club. Lane 3, O'Shea for Nation's Capital. Lane 3, Nowasu for Long Island Express. Lane 4, Wilson for Kentucky Aquatics. Lane 5, Edwards for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 6, Jones for Kentucky Aquatics. Lane 7, Medlin for Mecklenburg. And lane 8 is Nagel for Academy Bullets. Sawyer Wilson, Kentucky Aquatics in lane 4 in a time of 51.57. Fast so far, 2 more heats to go. This is heat 22. Heat 22, lane 1, Guth for Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 2, Tice for Boilermaker. Lane 3, Whiteford for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 4, Leginski for Ole Swimming. Lane 5, Leo Churba Gioski from New Trier. Lane 6, Enstein from Suburban Seahawks. Lane 7, Roy for H2 Okies. And lane 8, Brinsfield for Suburban Seahawks. First to touch out of lane 6, Henry Enstein for Suburban Seahawks, 50.81. Quick so far with 1 more heat to go, heat 23. Final preliminary heat in men's 100 freestyle. Lane 1, Besdick for Shark Swim Club. Lane 2, Demokas Murphy for St. Andrews Aquatics. Lane 3, Atkins for Dad's Club. Lane 4, Zakowski for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 5, Lee for Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Teresis for Iswaki Aquatics. Lane 7, Rankin for Lakeside. And lane 8, Peterson for Mecklenburg. Matthew Atkins from Dad's Club turned at the 50, 24.29. Again, the meet record here, 49.75. Nazar Zakowski, Team Pittsburgh in lane 4, 50.82. 13 preliminary heats now, women's 200 backstroke, heat 1. Heat 1, lane 3 of women's 200 backstroke. Madeline Pateman for Lakeside. Lane 4, Sammy Blinderman for Waukesha Express. Lane 5, Finley Chong of Rockville, Montgomery. Hundred turn of Heat 1. Out in front, Madeline Payton of Lakeside, 112.98, head of Sammy Blinderman of Waukesha Express. Madeline Pateman, 230.94. Heat 2. I understand there may have been some issues with Meet Mobile a little bit earlier, but we think we've got that corrected now. So Meet Mobile should be up and running. Here we are in Heat 2, Lane 1. Larson Hill for Academy Bullets. Lane 2, Sophie Blue for Fast Tigers. Lane 3, Carolyn Hepper for Nova of Virginia. Lane 4, Melissa Geiger for Greenwich YWCA. Lane 5 is Orly Hall for Nova of Virginia. Lane 6 is Naomi Ellers for Dad's Club. Lane 7 is Olivia Meyer for Azwaki Aquatics. Lane 8, Nora Francis for Nova of Virginia. Here now the results of preliminary swims in the men's 100 freestyle. Second alternate correction. In the, I'll just say in the D final is Stetter, Crook, Peterson, Pritz, Gangamy, and Hansen, Fisher and Durcha. In the D final, Coe, Jones, Liu, Guth, Sears, Besdick, and Finley. Potential swim-off between Jamie Brinsfield and Yaron Lee of Nation's Capital to see who's in D, who's in C. We need a coach from Suburban Seahawks and Nation's Capital at the lower admin table. Again, a coach from Suburban Seahawks and Nation's Capital, the lower admin table. Rest of the C final. So Lee, Brinsfield, Pageff, McKinn, Nagel, Tomokos, Murphy, and Purcell. Another potential swim-off to see who's in B, who's in C between Whiteford of Team Pittsburgh and Grimley of Suburban. We need a coaching representative from Suburban and Team Pittsburgh Elite at the lower admin table. Rest of the B final heat, Rankin, Wosu, Phillips, O'Shea, Terrazas, Weiner, and Orlandini. I'll be back with the A final once we get the next heat in the water. So we got heat 2 coming into the wall here. Lane 3, Carolyn Hepper of Nova of Virginia in a time of 2:24.62. Heat 3. Here is the A final in the men's 100 free. We got Roy, Liu, Chorbezioski, Wilson, Peterson, Eitkens, Leginski, Zukovsky, and your top seed in the men's 100 free from Suburban Seahawks, Henry Enston at a time of 50.81. Time now is 9:32. 30-minute scratch rule is in effect for event number 4.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep, and here we are with Heat 3 underway. Lane 1, Ludke for Academy Bullets. Lane 2, Keyworth for New Trier. Lane 3, Parker for Suburban. Lane 4, Brom for Huntsville Swim Association. Lane 5, Whaley for Academy Bullets. Lane 6, Fatari for Nova of Virginia. Lane 7, Alberts for Edina Swim Club. And Lane 8, Dean for Rockville Montgomery. Heat 3 coming into the wall. And first to touch in lane 2, Claire Keyworth, New Trier, 2:24.46. Heat 4. Heat 4, lane 1, Klingon-Smith for Team Pittsburgh. That's Amber Klingon-Smith. Lane 2, Madison Clevenger for Coast Guard Blue Dolphins. Lane 3, Natalie Tank for Nova of Virginia. Lane 4, Maeve Atwood for New Trier. Lane 5, Lily Druckenmiller for Mecklenburg Swim Club. Lane 6, Lane Jacobs for Nova of Virginia. 7, Lena Dwyer of Dad's Club. And lane 8, Ellery Carpenter of Mecklenburg. Druckenmiller turning in a 109.57 ahead of Clevenger in lane 2. Lily Druckmiller, Mecklenburg Swim Club, 2:23.09. Heat 5. Here in Heat 5, lane 1, Gabby Graham for Academy Bullets. Lane 2, Charlotte Bruning for Nova, Virginia. Lane 3, Gabby Cavallo of Nova, Virginia. Lane 3, Carolyn Linkus from H2Oki Aquatics. Lane 5, Rachel Brzezinski of Waukesha Express. Lane 6, Susanna Guttleman from North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 7, Claire Chumley of Tide Riders. Lane 8 is Claire Simon for Academy Bullets. Hundred turn and out in front. Claire Simon, Academy Bullets, 109.67, ahead of Claire Chumley of Tide Riders in lane 7. Rachel Brzezinski, Waukesha Express, 224.22, Heat 6. Heat 6, lane 1, Grayson Connor for aquatic team of Mecklenburg. Lane 2, Emily Heinz, Team Pittsburgh. Lane 3, Sylvia Della Duca of New Trier. Lane 4, Katie Dunfield of Ole Swimming. Lane 5, Lane Curry of Tide Riders. Lane 6, Maddie Inman of Rockville Montgomery. 7, Brooklyn Rager, Fast Tigers. And Lane 8, Isabella Stanek of Academy Bullets. We need to see coaches from Suburban Seahawks and Team Pittsburgh to the lower admin table. Again, we need to see coaches from Suburban Seahawks and Team Pittsburgh at the lower admin table, please. Grayson Connor, aquatic team of Mecklenburg, lane 1 at the 100, 108.22. NCSA meet record in the women's 200 backstroke, 208.27 by Charlotte Crush of Lakeside in 2025. Grayson Connor over in lane 1 getting challenged now. Emily Heinz, Greenville in lane 2 as they come in. They reach, and on the wall first, it is Grayson Connor, aquatic team of Mecklenburg, 222.31, heat 7. Heat 7, lane 1, Addison Hayon from Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 2, Charlotte Brown from Tide Riders. Lane 3, Elise Ullman from Mecklenburg. Lane 4, Savannah Lurch from Stingrays. Lane 5, Emmy Meyer of Waukesha Express. Lane 6, Lena Shapiro of Lakeside. Lane 7, Sydney Burley, North Carolina Aquatic. And lane 8, Hadley Stucker of a Lakeside Swim Team. Elise Ullman turning at the 100, 107.62. Lee Solman from Mecklenburg. .222.06, heat 8. Heat 8, lane 1, Maddie Mugg from Tide Riders. Lane 2, Maggie Montiel of Academy Bullets. Lane 3, Tamara Krett from New Trier. Lane 4, Josie Trent from Fort Wayne. Lane 5, Brooklyn's Lewis from Excel. Lane 6, Allie Hayes of Long Island Aquatic. Lane 7, Kennedy Fitzgerald from Chicago Wolfpack. And lane 8, Ginger Strickland from Nation's Capital. Leader at the 100, lane 4, Josie Trent, Fort Wayne swim team, 109.31. Ahead of Maggie Montiel, Academy Bullets in lane 2. Ginger Strickland, Nation's Capital in lane 8, 221.23. Fast so far. Heat 9. Heat 9, lane 1, McKaylee Jenkins from Nation's Capital. 2, Colleen Tracy, Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 3, Abby Schneider, Team Greenville. Lane 4, Whitney Jones, Lakeside. Lane 5, Marley Cooksey of Lakeside. Lane 6, Megan Bluthman of Ole Swimming. Lane 7, Abigail Slater, Mansfield Aquatic Club. And lane 8 for Academy Bullets, Molly Gonzalez. Whitney Jones of Lakeside. 100 turn at a 107.71 ahead of Megan Bluthman of Ole in lane 6. It's going to be Megan Bluthman Ole swimming in lane 6. 2:20.51. Quick so far. Heading into heat 10. Heat 10, lane 1, Heidi Heberstroh from Parkway Rockwood. Lane 3, Olivia Kremer from Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 3, Lipa Nura from Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 4, Avery Canine from Tide Riders. Lane 5, Emerson Canalina from Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Avery Misek from Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 7, Kellen O'Hara, Nation's Capital, and lane 8, Avery Annuski of Waukesha Express. Avery Canine, Tide Riders out front in lane 4. Makes the 100 turn to 107.17 ahead of Emerson Catalina of Nation's Capital. Avery Canine of Tide Riders here in Heat 10 with a time of 2:19.96. Heat 11. Heat 11, first of our circle-seated heats and preliminaries of women's 200 backstroke. In lane 1, Mia Devlin for Wilmington Aquatic. Lane 2, Brianna Mingwang from Chicago Wolfpack. Lane 3, Annabelle Naraki from Academy Bullets. Lane 4, Louise Vederson, Mecklenburg Swimming. Lane 5, Macy McCarter, Mecklenburg. Lane 6, Madison Susheki of Suburban Seahawks. Lane 7, Millie Reddick of Mecklenburg. And lane 8, Lilia Teeter of Huntsville Swim Association. Louise Fitterson from Mecklenburg turned out the 100, 105.39. Louise Vitterson, Mecklenburg swim team. 2:15.66. Fast so far with 2 more heats left to go. Heat 12. Heat 12, lane 1, Mimi Gilavera of Eagle Swim Team. Lane 2, Olivia White from Mecklenburg. Lane 3, Dylan Munchel, Nation's Capital. Lane 4, Ava Graziani of Lakeside. Lane 5, Grayson Brewster of Mecklenburg. Lane 6, Noelle Rice of Tide Riders. 7, McKee Toller from Nation's Capital. And lane 8, Sophia Lyons of Long Island Aquatic. Hundred turn in lane 6, Noelle Rice of Tide Riders. 105.61 ahead of Ava Graziana Lakeside. 105.85. Ava Graziani at Lakeside. In lane 4, bringing heat 12 to the wall. Graziani's time, 2:15.48. And that's the quickest posting with 1 more heat left to go. Heat 13. Final preliminary heat in the water now. Women's 200 backstroke. Lane 1, Zara Patton, Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 2, Karina Miller for Academy Bullets. Lane 3, Kate Fetters for Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 4, Casey Brager from Lakeside. Lane 5, Mesa DeGroot from Shark Swim Club. Lane 6, Jillian Wurzma for H2 Oki Aquatics. Lane 7, Emily Schneider, Team Greenville. Casey Brager, Lakeside out front. 100 turn, 104.94. Second at the 100, lane 5, Mesa DeGroot, Sharks, 106.25. Prager still out front at the 150, 139.62. DeGroot still in second position, and in third, lane 3, Kate Fetters of Fort Wayne Swim Team. Macy DeGroot coming back here. Shark Swim Club. DeGroot on the wall first in our final heat, 2:14.03. Quickest time posting in the preliminaries this morning in the women's 200 backstroke. 16 preliminary heats now in the men's 200 back. Heat 1. Heat 1, lane 1, Colton Turner, Suburban Seahawks. Lane 2, Shane Kelly of Brownsburg. Lane 3, Lucas Abel, Machine Aquatics. Lane 4, Patrick Collins, Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 5, Colin Lindell, Dad's Club. Lane 6, Donnie Kennedy from New Trier. Lane 7, Austin Pritz from Boilermaker Aquatic. Lane 8 for Landon Bushman for Nova of Virginia. Colin Lindell, Dad's Club in lane 5, 104.33. Second position at the 100, Colton Turner, Suburban Seahawks in lane 1, 104.66. Coaches and swimmers, preliminary results from event 5, women's 200 backstroke, are now posted and available at the lower admin table. Time now 10:06 and the 30-minute scratch roll in effect for event number 5. Colin Lindell, Dad's Club, 2:13.59. Heat 2. Heat 2, lane 1. Max Miller from Miswaukie Aquatics. Lane 2, Ryan Kang from Lakeside. Lane 3, Hunter Humbert from Academy Bullets. Lane 4, Josh Agans from Team Pittsburgh. Lane 5, Charlie Taylor from Team Greenville. Lane 6, Gordon Barris from Nation's Capital. Lane 7, Race Earhart from Mecklenburg. Lane 8 is Maxwell Yao from Long Island Aquatic. Hunter Humbert, Academy Bullets, turns at the 100, 101.60. Second at the 100, lane 6, Gordon Barris, Nation's Capital, 102.97. Hunter Humbert, Academy Bullets here in Heat 2, lane 3. Sizable lead over the Heat 2 field. And Humbert's time, 2:08.86. Heat 3. Heat 3, lane 1, Teddy Monitor from Lakeside. Lane 2, Alex Arlick from Nation's Capital. Lane 3, Walker Price from Lakeside. Lane 4, Christopher Connors from Nova of Virginia. Lane 5, Warren Pang, Long Island Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Isaac Simonis from H2Oki Aquatics. Lane 7, Alexander Ostrander from Ole Swimming. Lane 8, Reed Johnson from Boilermaker Aquatics. Walker Price in lane 3, he turns at the 100, 102.68. Had Alexander Ostrander, Ole Swimming in 7, 103.67. Walker Price, Lakeside Swim Team, lane 3, bringing it in. Reaches for the wall, 2:11.44. Heat 4. Heat 4, lane 1, Cooper Redfern, Nova of Virginia. Lane 2, Alex Polavanpour of Machine Aquatics. Lane 3, Jay Huang, Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. Lane 4, Kyle O'Connor is Zwaukee Aquatics. Lane 5, Max McMillan, Parkway Rockwood. Lane 6, Luke Deutschman from Parkway Rockwood. Lane 7, Josh Heckler, Edina Swim Club. And lane 8, Quinn Brager from Lakeside Swim Team. Cooper Redfin in lane 1, Nova, Virginia, 103.21 at the 100. Second at the 100, Quinn Brager, Lakeside, turning in a 104.10. Cooper Redfern, Nova, Virginia, brings it in lane 1, 210.53. Heat 5. Heat 5, lane 1, Gibson Jones in Nova, Virginia. Lane 2, Ethan Hoyer, Nation's Capital. Lane 3, Jack Tvornik, Rockville, Montgomery. Lane 4, Gray McKelvey, Team Pittsburgh. Lane 5, Caden Nagel, Edina Swim Club. Lane 6, Charlie Mittler, North Carolina Aquatic. Lane 7, Jack Gravel from Rockville, Montgomery. And lane 8, Daniel Trench Montagne from Machine Aquatics. Gibson Jones, lane 1, 102.02. Charlie Mittler, North Carolina Aquatic, 209.50. Heat 6. Heat 6, lane 1, Henry Mura from Tide Riders. Lane 2, Henry Williams, Machine Aquatics. Lane 3, Mikey Newman, Academy Bullets. Lane 4, Harrison Lee from Lakeside. Lane 5, Carter Murray, Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Aaron Cook, Nova, Virginia. Lane 7, Horia Debreen Erzika from Nassau Wildcat Aquatics. And lane 8, Aiden Ward, Academy Bullets. Mikey Newman from Academy Bullets turning in lane 3 at the 100, 101.86. Head of Henry Mura of Tide Riders lane 1, 102.66. Carter Murphy, Nation's Capital, 209.09. Heat 7. Heat 7, lane 1, Aaron Neville, Suburban Seahawks. Lane 3, Micah Mitchell, Old North State Aquatics. Lane 4, Thomas Kulka, Nation's Capital. Lane 5, Will Rose, Lakeside. Lane 6, Milo Jakowski of Izwaki Aquatics. Lane 7, Jackson Logston, Lakeside Swim Team. And lane 8, Cole Strom of Parkway Rockwood. Milo Jakowski, Izwaki Aquatics, turns in a 102.11. Second at the 100, lane 5, Will Rose, Lakeside, 102.36. Will Rose of Lakeside here in lane 5. First to touch, 209.40. Heat 8. Heat 8, Lane 2, Chase Rabe from Nation's Capital. Lane 3, Grant Fleming from Suburban Seahawks. Lane 4, Forrest Thompson, Lakeside Swim Team. Lane 5, Jack Pollard, Sandpipers of Nevada. Lane 6, Team Greenville, Harper Church. Lane 7, Nation's Capital, Levi Fulweiler. And Lane 8, Mark Edwards of Machine Aquatics. Grant Fleming, Suburban Seahawks. .59.60 ahead of Jack Pollard, Sandpiper of Nevada. Want to once again remind swimmers and coaches participating in our distance freestyle events this afternoon, you need to supply your own timer and lap counter. We'll be starting Heat 1, the men's 800 free at 2:57 this afternoon. But again, those swimmers need to provide their own timer and lap counter. They don't need to do so in finals, but they do in the earlier swims of the distance events. Grant Fleming, Suburban Seahawks here in Heat 8, 2:04.51. Heat 9. Heat 9, Lane 1, Jack Maselli, Nation's Capital. Lane 2, Gareth Hollander, Nova of Virginia. Lane 3, J.P. Costello of Tide Riders. Lane 4, Andrew Schreier of Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 5, Greer Sweeney of Lakeside. Lane 6, Ryan Yao of Long Island Aquatic. Lane 7, Logan Schifrin of Aquatic Team of Mecklenburg. And Lane 8, Tolga Killick of Nation's Capital. Hundred turf for your leader out front, Tolga Killick, Nation's Capital on lane 8, 102.68. Second to turn at the 100, Gareth Hollander, Nova of Virginia, 102.77. Here in Heat 9, first on the wall, J.P. Costello of Tide Riders, 209.39. Heat 10. Heat 10, lane 1, Dennis Aku for Long Island Express. Lane 2 is Charlie Mahoney, Old North State Aquatic. Lane 3, Drew Hodem, Nova of Virginia. Lane 4, Sean Zhao, New Trier. Lane 5, Hugh Harrell, Nova of Virginia. Lane 6, Mosley Petsky, Waukesha Express. Lane 7, Matthew Weeks, Irish Aquatics. And lane 8 for Lakeside Swim Team, Carson Chris. Mosley Patsky, Waukesha Express with a 100 split, 101.70. Second position, Carson Kreis from Lakeside, lane 8. Swimmers, don't forget, as we get to the 50 butterfly, the start end for the 50s will be the scoreboard balcony end of the Natatorium. Into the wall they come in heat 10. Out of lane 6, Mosley Patsky, Waukesha Express, 209.35. Heat 11. Heat 11, lane 1, Jackson Wagner, Academy Bullets. Lane 2, Dillard Haver, Sharks. Lane 3, Cade Taylor, Team Greenville. Lane 4, Mountain Valley Aquatics, Landon Quinn. Lane 5, Nation's Capital, Mateus Nunes Fuller. Lane 6 for Rockville Montgomery, Kevin Lee. 7 for Parkway Rockwood, Alex Atkins. And lane 8 for Old North State Aquatics, Vaughn Muir. Landon Quinn, Mountain Valley Aquatics at the 100, 100.53. Ahead of Jackson Wagner, Academy Bullets in lane 1, 100.85. And Landon Quinn, Mountain Valley Aquatics, 206.28. Heat 12. Heat 12, lane 1, Ben Whiteford for Team Pittsburgh. Lane 2, Cooper Price for Lakeside. Lane 3, Rafa Fontana for Nation's Capital. Lane 4, Logan Senior for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 5, Brig Barnett from Rockville Montgomery. Lane 6, Wyatt Stetter from Peters Township Swim Club. Lane 7, Jackson Daniel from Nation's Capital. And lane 8, Brody Tyndall for Huntsville Swim Association. Hundred turn and leading the way. Lane 2, Cooper Price, Lakeside Swim Team, 101.15. Coming into the wall here, Heat 12. First to touch in lane 7, Jackson Daniel, Nation's Capital, 206.47. Heat 13. Heat 13, lane 1, Anthony Korchnak, Boilermaker Aquatic. Lane 3, Steeler Huwell from Waukesha Express. Lane 4, Brady Turner, Suburban Seahawks. Lane 5, Maxim Nazarov from Sandpipers of Nevada. Lane 6, Alexander Thomas, Dad's Club. Lane 7, Hamza Husney of Lakeside. And lane 8, Roman Drews from Rockville, Montgomery. Steeler Huel, Waukesha Express in lane 3 at the 100, 59.23. Second at the 100, lane 5, Maxim Nazarov, Sandpipers of Nevada, 101.40. Steeler Huwell, 205.31. Heat 14. Heat 14 is the first of our circle-seated heats in the men's 200 backstroke preliminaries. Lane 1, Harris Abernathy from Old North State Aquatics. Lane 2, Clark Montgomery from Parkway Rockwood. Lane 7, Benjamin Wasaki from Waukesha Express. Lane 7, Michael Zhao from Nation's Capital. Lane 5, Joe Whittock from Nation's Capital. Lane 6, Jonathan Packard from Greenwich YWCA. Lane 7, Charlie Zahoski from Machine Aquatics, and Lane 8, Carson Pfeiffer, Sandpipers of Nevada. Joe Whittock, Nation's Capital at the 100. 101.19, second position, Lane 8, Carson Pfeiffer, Sandpipers of Nevada, 100.46. Whittock from Nation's Capital, 204.00. Quickest time turned in so far. 2 more heats to go. Heat 15. Heat 15, Lane 1, Will Bridges from Team Greenville. Lane 2, Colin Canine from Tide Riders. Lane 3, Justin Shy of Eagle Swim Team. Lane 4, Parker Efert from Dad's Club. Lane 5, Austin Chu of Tide Riders. Lane 6, Harrison Short of Mecklenburg. Lane 7, Patrick O'Connor, Academy Bullets. And Lane 8, Peyton Harrison of Lakeside. NCSA meet record of the men's 200 backstroke, 159.02. Braden Capon of Academy Bullets in 2025. Austin Chu of Tide Riders turns in a 100.22. Had a Parker Eford, Dad's Club in lane 4. And a 100.25 is very close there. Chu still ahead of Eford at the 150. Parker Eford of Dad's Club. It's going to be first to touch in heat 15, 2:03.50. Fast so far with one more heat left to go. Heat 16. Heat 16, our final preliminary heat of the men's 200 backstroke. Lane 1, Ivan Wang from Parkway Rockwood. Lane 2, Quinn Motter from Lakeside. Lane 3, Benjamin Leginski, Ole Swimming. Lane 5, Jack Murphy, Academy Bullets. Lane 6, Matthew Atkins, Dad's Club. Lane 7, Brody Blatt of Tide Riders. And Lane 8, Everett Heiser from Zionsville Swim Club. We need a coaching representative for the city of Lafayette. We need a coaching representative from City of Lafayette to the head table. Jack Murphy out front, 59.99. In lane 5, second position, lane 3, Benjamin Leginski. Ole 10066. Murphy still out front at the 150, 131.95. Now in second position, lane 2, Quinn Motter of Lakeside. Third at the 150, lane 3, Benjamin Leginski. Jack Murphy brings it in. And in a time, 2:03.90. Directing your attention now to the scoreboard balcony end of the Natatorium as we head into 50 butterfly, 16 preliminary heats for the women. Heat 1. Swimmers and coaches, preliminary results now posted in the men's 200 backstroke. Time now is 10:49, 30-minute scratch rule in effect for event number 6. Here in heat 1, Sander in 3, McNamee in 4, and Jones in 5. going to be Ella McNamee, Mecklenburg. 29.75 to start us off in this event. Heat 2. Heat 2. Heat 2, Robertson in 1, Schlegel in 2, Westfall in 3, Schott in 4, Welch in 5, Kelly in 6, Haberstroh in 7, and Quinn in lane 8. Paige Stroh, Team Pittsburgh in lane 4, 29.80. Heat 3. Heat 3, Coffey in 1, Schumacher in 2, Brewster in 3, Dumb in 4, Komorowski in 5, Chinowiak in 6, Ambrosino in 7, and Holland in lane 8. Charlotte Crush set the meet record in this event, 2023 at a 26.18. Claire Schumacher here, first to touch in Heat 3, 28.46. Heat 4. Heat 4, Hook in 1, Gilly in 2, Smith in 3, Hare in 4, Nesbitt in 5, Lee in 6, McCourt in 7, and McDonald in lane 8. Ellie Hook, a Nation's Capital, lane 1. Touches first in Heat 4, 27.88. Heat 5. Heat 5, Schisler in 1, Furchess in 2, Connor in 3, Lang in 4, Connor in 5, Wayner in 6, Alexander in 7, Porter in lane 8. Millie Connor out front, Team Greenville in lane 3. Millie with a time of 28.88. Heat 6. Heat 6, Blom in 1, Mingwang in 2, Litzau in 3, Carestas in 4, Cass in 5, Hulser in 6, Philo in 7, and Yancey in lane 8. Here in Heat 6, lane 1, Paige Blom, Parkway Rockwood, 29.38. Heat 7. Heat 7, Inman in 1, Wedeking in 2, Klingensmith in 3, Gang in 4, Edinburgh in 5, Gonzalez in 6, Canine in 7, and Loftus in lane 8. Chloe Lang in lane 4, 28.49. Heat 8. Heat 8, Martin in 1, Federico in 2, Wedeking in 3, Hudson in 4, De Oliveira in 5, Bassett in 6, Druin in 7, and Rogie in lane 8. Amy Martin, Dad's Club in lane 1, 28.78. Heat 9. Heat 9 with Weed in 1, De Jong in 2, Nealon in 3, Yak in 4, Brown in 5, Casanovas in 6. Russell in 7, and Brockman in lane 8. First to touch in Heat 9 out of lane 8, Alexia Brockman, Chicago Wolfpack, 29.39. Heat 10. Heat 10, Mason in 1, Ridings in 2, Billet in 3, De La Cruz in 4, Stenek in 5, Lua in 6, Parker in 7, and Miller in lane 8. First to touch out of lane 8, Catherine Miller, Team Pittsburgh, 28.78. Heat 11. Heat 11, Whitney in 1, Howard in 2, Bedarson in 3, Shiflett in 4, Kai in 5, Whaley in 6, Saheda in 7, and Fitzgerald in 8. Lily Shiflett, Nation's Capital, in lane 1, 28.17. Heat 12. Heat 12, Gasecki in 1, Bussin in 2, Hepper in 3, Welch in 4, Frost in 5, Green in 6, Kadori in 7, Alvarado in lane 8. Lane Frost in lane 5 looks to have the edge, and she does touch first, 28.63. Looks to be Laney Frost of Team Pittsburgh, 28.63. Heat 13. Heat 13, Dwyer in 1, Drummond in 2, Herzog in 3, Shapiro in 4, Packard in 5, Morgan in 6, Heitzman in 7, Boland in lane 8. Heat 13 winner out of lane 8, Maddie Boland of Mecklenburg, 28.22. Heat 14. Heat 14, the first of our circle-seated heats in the preliminaries of women's 50 butterfly. Parsons in 1, Brown in 2, Slater in 3, Chen in 4, Gunther in 5, Renaud in 6, Cushman in 7, and Koner in lane 8. Abby Chan of Huntsville Swim Association. Look at the lead she has here in Heat 14, 27.21. quickest so far with 2 more heats left to go. Heat 15. Heat 15 with Bill Geiser in 1, Brooks in 2, Nekula in 3, Barty in 4, Antonuski in 5, Glassley in 6, Morrison in 7, and Sanchez in lane 8. First on the wall in lane 5, Ella Antonuski of Waukesha Express, 28.30 with 1 more heat left to go. Heat 16. Our final preliminary heat in women's 50 butterfly. Russell in 1, Williams in 2, Manick in 3, McKay in 4, Brager in 5, Jones in 6, Dye in 7, and Hunter in lane 8. Tight field, anybody's race coming into the wall. First to touch in lane 4. Aubriel McKay, Ole swimming, 27.86. Men's 50 butterfly now, 18 preliminary heats. Heat 1. Heat 1 with Neal in 2, Blandford in 3, Archibald in 4, Lageller in 5, and Abro in 6. Jacob Lageller of Dad's Club, 26.93. Heat 2. Heat 2. Yorfi in 1, Verley in 2, Giesemann in 3, Gabler in 4, Young in 5, Collins in 6, York in 7, and Stomacher in lane 8. Dylan Giesemann of Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, lane 3, 26.30. Heat 3. Heat 3. Lifanakis in 1, Baca in 2, Rolnick in 3, Dong in 4, Shalom in 5, Dickon in 6, Sue in 7, and Baker in lane 8. First to touch here in Heat 3 out of lane 7 is Odin Sue from Team Pittsburgh, 26.42. Heat 4. Event 7 is now a posted event, and the time now is 10:11. And we need to see the following coaches over at the lower admin table. It's a bunch of them. Waukesha, Nation's Capital, Chicago Wolfpack, Fort Wayne, Kentucky, Nassau Wildcat, Team Pittsburgh, Mecklenburg, Long Island Aquatic, Chelsea Piers, and Tide Riders. We need to see a coach from all those teams over at the lower admin table. Boy, they are going to be busy. Heat 4 on the wall. First to touch out of lane 3, Bryce Keaton, Carolina Aquatic Team, 26.16. Heat 5. Heat 5, Tennant in 1, Taylor in 2, Patterson in 3, Lee in 4, Hassenstab in 5, Martinez in 6, Purcell in 7, and Shaper in lane 8. First to touch in lane 7, Michael Purcell, Parkway Rockwood, 26.25. Heat 6. Heat 6 with Ward in 1, Bai in 2, Kitamoto in 3, Hermosan in 4, Burns in 5, Curry in 6, Hess in 7, and House in lane 8. NCSA record in the men's 50 butterfly, 24.08. Connor Black of Cats, 2013. Yuma Kitamoto, Academy Bullets in lane 3, 26.22. Heat 7. Heat 7, Murin in 1, Farnsworth in 2, Hirth in 3, Wagner in 4, Medlin in 5, Westerman in 6, Chow in 7, and McMinn in lane 8. Out of lane 8, Bill McMahon, Lakeside Swim Team, 25.76. Quick so far. Heat 8. Heat 8, Rump in 1, Larkin in 2, Wergley in 3, Petsky in 4, Tisimoni in 5, Hamilton in 6, Thomason in 7, and Weeks in lane 8. Will Larkin, Waukesha Express lane 2, 25.82. Heat 9. Heat 9, Martinez in 1, Tchaikovsky in 2, O'Shea in 3, Tyson 4, Prince in 5, Lee in 6, Zhao in 7, and Solis in lane 8. Lane 7, Andrew Zhao, Dad's Club, 25.56. That's the quick so far. Heat 10. Heat 10, Coe in 1, Rose in 2, Torres in 3, Schultz in 4, Frazier in 5, Durcha in 6, Beckley in 7, and Kalka in lane 8. First to touch in Heat 10 out of lane 1, Jordan Coe, New Trier Aquatics, 25.90. Heat 11. Heat 11, McCann in 1, Schwabe in 2, Wasaki in 3, Thomas in 4, Newman in 5, Anston in 6, Wood in 7, and Zhao in lane 8. And first to touch out of lane 8, Arthur Zhao, Nation's Capital, 25.46. Quick so far. Heat 12. Heat 12, Agans in 1, Castaneda in 2, Sears in 3, Woodward in 4, Fontana in 5, Schwabe in 6, Carisi in 7, and Seidenfaden in 8. Out of lane 3, Charlie Sears, New Trier, 25.68. Heat 13. Heat 13, Whittaker in 1, Bungie in 2, Huweller in 3, Scott in 4, Sikowski in 5, Dutlich in 6, Kemet in 7, and Wusu in 8. First on the wall in Heat 13, lane 4, Daniel Scott, Chicago Wolfpack, 24.99. He likes that by the reaction. Quick so far. Heat 14. Heat 14, Motter in 1, Jackson in 2, Guth in 3, Ford in 4, Thompson in 5, Boyd in 6, Robinson in 7, Landers in lane 8. On the wall first, lane 7, Mitchell Robinson, Nation's Capital, 25.67. Heat 15. Heat 15, Robinson in 1, Maselli in 2, Naranjo in 3, Peterson in 4, Liu in 5, Novell in 6, Besnick in 7, and Fullwater in lane 8. We had a tie for first here in Heat 15. Lane 1, Grant Robinson of Chicago Wolfpack, and in lane 3, Ian Naranjo of Nations Capital in a 25.57. Heat 16. First of our circle-seated heats. In the men's 50 butterfly, Phillips in 1, Andrews in 2, Roy in 3, Phillips in 4, Kohlhofer in 5, Ball in 6, Brinchfield in 7, and Lou Chorcha Buzki, New Trier in lane 8. First to touch in lane 4, Tyler Phillips, Nations Capital, 24.89. Fast so far with 2 more heats to go. Heat 17. Heat 17, Avascu in 1, Hemberger in 2, Berlotta in 3, Coyle in 4, Slater in 5, Nagel in 6, Jungbluth in 7, and Moldovan in lane 8. Clark Coyle, Kentucky Aquatics, 24.52. 1 more heat left to go. Clark Coyle with the quick time so far. Again, 1 more heat left to go. Heat 18. Heat 18, our final preliminary heat of the men's 50 butterfly. Porter in 1, Finley in 2, Edwards in 3, Whiteford in 4, Chanitis in 5, Goldstein in 6, Miller in 7, and Fleming in lane 8. And out of lane 2, Dryden Finley, Parkway Rockwood, 24.56. And we are going to have a swim-off coming up in 5 minutes in the women's 50 butterfly. Preliminary results of the men's 50 butterfly have been posted. Time now 11:26. We need to see coaches for the following clubs at the lower admin table. We need to see a coach from Suburban Seahawks, Team Pittsburgh, and Nassau Wildcats. Again, we need to see a coach from Suburban Seahawks, Team Pittsburgh, Nassau Wildcats over at the lower admin table, please.